Hello and welcome to the 40th season of football. Friday night, I'm Nate Wimberly, joined by Brandon Hamilton. Week 6 of the high school football season, and tonight, teams began to separate themselves in the race for the conference title.
Yeah, Nate, teams like Independence had a chance to show the rest of the state that they are back with the win over Catholic and Southwestern 4A play, and West Lincoln could make an early claim to being the best in the Catawba Valley 2A with the win over the defending champs in Maiden.
Hey, but let's get this party started with a Queen City Conference clash between Huff and Chambers. The Huskies are the defending conference champs, and they got it done by beating the Cougars in the regular season in 2021. Here comes the Cougars onto the field, but Huff returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown and a 7-0 lead. Second quarter action, Huskies held the ball. Tad Hudson throws it, but it's intercepted by Dontre Henderson in the end zone. That's a touchback. Chambers dodges a bullet right there. Still in the second quarter. The very next play after the interception, Braylon Vincent right here, he's going to have a nice little run, but he forgot one thing. The ball.
You got to hold that.
It's recovered by Huff. They're back in business. Then it's going to be Tad Hudson. He's going to throw the ball to Kell Williams. He's going to get past two defenders and goes in for the touchdown. And they get the field goal to make it a 14-0 game, and a big win tonight for Huff as they won 16-7.
All right, let's go down east to Lincoln Mustangs at Statesville. The Greyhounds will pick this up where East Lincoln leading 21-0 at the half. Here's the next play, East Lincoln. They'll hand it off right here. Here's Christopher Dowley, the second, skirting down the sidelines. He only needed one break, and there it is. That's a big run. It's a first down. All right, East Lincoln again hands it off to Ben Cutter, who will take it down to the 5-yard line. The Mustangs will score right here on this run down the left, and that's Daly at the second again. 28-0. All right, fourth quarter, East Lincoln quarterback Tyler Mizell. He'll drop back to pass, but
the red screen.
Jaquez Robinson says, give me that one. All right, Statesville handoff to Justin Davidson right here. He'll pick up the first with that hard run. Another handoff here to Davidson, who will keep dancing. And there he goes. He finds the hole, breaks it for a big gain. Nice run right there. All right, Statesville handoff right here. Here's Phoenix Lawrence, who takes it into the end zone. That would be 28-7. And that is all she wrote. The final score, East Lincoln wins it 28-7. They remain undefeated. What a way to start the season for them.
Yeah, let's take a trip to Belmont. Hunter Huss paying a visit to the South Point Red Raiders. We picked this one up in the second half. South with a 14-0 lead. A quick pass to Harrison McKinney. He takes it in for 6. No problem at all. South Point up 21-0. Later on is Patrick Blee, the freshman. He keeps it, and he's going to scramble in for the touchdown. Red Raiders patting the lead. It's 28-0, but Huss says not so fast. Darius Headley refusing to go down. Watch it. His knee almost goes down right there, but he stays up somehow. He gets in for the touchdown. It's 28-7, but it was too little too late. South Point takes this one 35-7.
All right, now we got Charlotte Christian Knights at Charlotte Latin Hawks. There you go. Look at them. Yes, we hype on a Friday night. You got to love that. All right, we picked this game up with seconds left in the first half. Cameron Estep, he fires one. That's Chip Casey. 6 yards out. That's a touchdown to close the lead to just 6. All right, here in the third, Charlie Smith, the pass. One-handed deflected, and that is a pick, a gift to the defense. That's Jonathan Montgomery. That'll be great field position for the Knights to start this one. Okay, here's Christian. Looking to take advantage of the turnover, but Trip Woody pushes it to the left. That is no good. The Hawks maintain their 6-point lead. All right, pick it up in the third. Christian knocking on the door again. Kyron Jones is going to lower his head and try to get some couple yards. Knights right there take a 1-point lead, and Christian wins this matchup 35-27.
Another great game in that big-time rivalry. Two great private schools. Great football. They always play there, and they'll probably be meeting in the playoffs, so that's probably not the last time you're going to see that one this year. Time to take our first break here on the show. When we come back, the football Friday night game of the week, Charlotte Catholic at Independence, and you do not want to miss these highlights. We'll be right back.
Its first conference game, hosting the powerhouse Charlotte Catholic Cougars, already 1-0 in conference action. We pick things up in the second quarter. Independence up 14-7. Sincere McIntyre takes the handoff, and nobody is stopping number one. A big house call, and the Patriots are up 14 now before the half. Not long after, in the second half now, Sean Boyle throws a fade, and Notre Dame commit Jack Larson goes up and hauls it in. A beautiful catch and throw. Suddenly this one tied at 21. Now time for Justin Little to answer right back. A beautiful long ball of his own. Brian Crowder is going to haul this one in on the sideline. Puts the Patriots back up 7 to retake the lead. DJ McFadden loving his offense tonight, and they were not done yet. Fourth quarter, Little again dialing it up deep. A beautiful pass.
Spinning it.
Jalen Springs hauls it in. Now a 14-point lead for the Patriots. 10 minutes to play. They're feeling it in Indy, but not so fast. Catholics still very much alive. Griffin Sovine on the outside zone play finds the end zone. Suddenly this one gets a little interesting. A 35-28 game with 6:25 left on the clock. Independence has a chance to put the game away, but an ill-advised pass with a minute left. Patriots go for the knockout punch. It is picked off by Landon Herzberg, the only thing that could not happen for Indy. And 2 plays later, Catholic cashes in. Boyle on the move, throws against his body, connects with Mikey Giroux.
Got it.
And just like that, the unthinkable happens in the final minute of the game. Why not go for the win? Catholic goes for 2, and they pound it in to take the lead. They pull off the stunner in conference play. Cougars shock the Patriots 36-35.
We've reached halftime here on the show, but still a lot more to come, including these games. Jump over to WBTV.com/live, Apple TV, Fire TV, or Roku to see the second half of the show. We'll see you in a few minutes for the conclusion of football Friday night. Play of the week.
Hey everybody, Football Friday Night alum Brian Stevenson here. When I think back to 40 years of Football Friday Night, I think back to my time where I got to see my friend Coach Mike Bias have great success at East Lincoln, winning 2 state championships. There are the traditions like Shelby versus Crest, A.L. Brown, the battle for the bell with Concord, Plumber's Perch, the Cannon. Lincolnton has the hot dogs from City Lunch, where if the boys win on Friday night, City Lunch feeds them on the following Thursday. Then I remember the coaches that we lost too soon, like Ron Massey and Scott Young.
Guys, I'd rather be no other place than right here in this locker room with this team right now.
It's the influence that these coaches and all of the coaches in our area have that will impact our communities long after the games are played. And that's what I like so much about covering football in our area for the greatest high school football show, Football Friday Night.
Happy 40th Football Friday Night. Thank you, Brian Stevenson, for shedding some light on what makes FFN so special to everyone and for taking a walk down memory lane. You know, one of the coaches right there, Coach Young, he talked about him. Ironically, I was just on Facebook and I saw where Diane, his wife, posted that today would have been Coach's birthday. So happy heavenly birthday, Coach Young, man. We miss you. We're thinking about you, and we're thinking about you, Diane, and the kids. They're not really kids anymore. They're grown up now. They're growing so fast. But Brian Stevenson, one of the true MVPs of the show when he was doing it for us, you know, as a producer, he was one of the guys I love because I could send Brian anywhere, and he would go. He would go to Rockingham. He would go, and he would turn some of the best stories. So thank you, Brian, for all you have done for Football Friday Night.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, he's still here, so I mean,
Exactly,
we walk down the halls every day, so yeah, I mean, fantastic work that Brian does each and every day. So.
Yep. Time to get back to the highlights, and we head to the biggest little football town in the world, Maiden.
Yeah. Tonight, the Blue Devils welcome undefeated West Lincoln. Both teams looking to move the 2-0 in the Catawba Valley to A play. Jordan Sawyers was at this one and has the story.
In Maiden tonight, where the Blue Devils hold a 7-0 lead early on against the West Lincoln Rebels. The Blue Devils looking to make it a 2-score game. Wesley Thompson finds Jacob Sigmund for a first down. The drive would eventually end on this Carson Ford's field goal. It's no good. West Lincoln has life. That Rebel defense came to play. The very next series for the Blue Devils, Thompson's pass is picked off by J.J. Ponder. He would help set up the tie. Jalen Winnix goes in for the score. In the second, Blue Devils driving Thompson hits Sigmund down the seam. Then Bing Gibbs picks up a first down. Finally, Gibbs finishes off the drive. But after missing the point after, Maiden took a 13-7 lead into the half. Second half, Rebels came out running. Winnix gonna pick up a first down. That would help set up this Ethan Hall field goal to cut the lead to 3. Next series, and Rebels take the lead as Mason Every finds room, and he is off to the races. West Lincoln going up now 17-13 in the third. And what a game it was all the way down into the fourth. Maiden would score 14 straight unanswered points to take a 27-17 win. At the home of the Blue Devils, I'm Jordan Sawyers for Football Friday Night.
Big win there for Maiden. To Gaston County we go for North Gaston hosting the Mountaineers from Kings Mountain. Wasting no time in this one. Opening kickoff is Caleb Holland. The senior finds a hole and takes it all the way back for the touchdown. Mountaineers come out of the gates fast. Later on, Kings Mountain still going fast as Little John's going to throw up the prayer here to Jaqueline Sanders. Not sure who has possession of the football here, but the refs would eventually rule this a touchdown. Mountaineers up 14-0. And going into the half, one more wouldn't hurt, said Teddy Jeffries. He's going to get the nice run up the gut for 6 right here. Big win for the Mountaineers as they win this one of 56-0.
Woo, that is a big one. All right, St. Stephen's at North Iredale. Here's North Iredale taking the field. We started here, St. Stephen's. They will have it first. There's a handoff. Bryson Gaither, who takes it around the right side. That is a big gain until he's pushed out of bounds right there. Okay, here's St. Stephen's quarterback, Peyton Young. He'll hit Gaither wide open right there. Screen pass, he will take it in. That is a 6-0 lead. All right, North Iredale's quarterback, Will Akers, he'll fake the handoff and then goes around the left side. That will be a big play for them. Nice little run right there. All right, here's the Raiders. Hand it off again. Sabino Marino. Little shake and bake. He'll pick up some yards, but they can't score. All right, here's St. Stephen's. They're moving in again. A handoff. Bryson Gaither squirts down for another big gain. Here's St. Stephen's quarterback Peyton Young. He'll make. Some people miss. Whoop! Woo-hoo! Wow. Get out, man. Kiss in the end zone. 14-0 lead for St. Stephen's. 21-7 is the final.
Palisades, Pumas at the Ardrey Knights. First quarter action here. The Knights waste no time putting points on the board. Josh Leclerc finds pay dirt on the keeper. Ardrey up 6-0. Next drive, Leclerc finds Ethan Pursuti out in the flats there. He makes a few defenders miss, and he's going to take it down for the touchdown. It's 12-0 Ardrey. Ardrey's defense wanting to get in on some of that action. Jalen Ellis knocks the ball loose. James Sept falls on it, but the Knights are unable to capitalize on the turnover. Following draw for the Pumas, and it goes from bad to worse. Oh, boy. Mama said there'll be days like this. Ardrey won this one 48-0.
Well, now it's time to head south of the border for Andrew Jackson at Louisville. The Lions are undefeated at 5-0, and they're the number 4 team in South Carolina in 1A under new head coach Leon Bulwer. Let's get to those highlights. The undefeated Louisville Lions coming onto the field, looking to go to 5-0, but someone forgot to tell the Andrew Jackson Volunteers. Check out number 23, Trey Thompson. Untouched, he would go 67 yards for the opening touchdown in this one. Andrew Jackson with the ball again, but this pass is going to be batted into the air and into the hands of Bruce Shipman for the interception. Great hands there. The Lions cash in on that turnover thanks to an Ian Grissom to DeAdrian Robinson for the game tie-in touchdown. Next volunteer drive, quarterback Hammond Wren says, forget the pass, I'll keep it on the ground myself. And he runs it pretty well, getting a big gain. And he would give it to his guy Thompson again to finish off the job, his second score of the night. And the ensuing possession, Devontae Bracey took over with a quarterback sack. Great work from the big man getting in the backfield. And he thought it was so nice, he did it twice. This is not a replay. Sacks on back-to-back plays. But after the break, Louisville started moving the ball, and that led to this Denary Garcia touchdown catch to tie the game. Has the cheerleaders understandably excited. And finally, in the fourth, the Lions said, hear me roar. Grissom calling his own number, following his blockers into the end zone. Louisville finally takes a lead, but it's short-lived. Later, Andrew Jackson's Eli Sowell takes the ball, gets to the edge, and 77 yards later finds himself in the end zone. And after another defensive stop, Sowell was back in the end zone on a much shorter run to give his team an 8-point lead after finding the end zone here. And then on fourth down, Louisville's last chance. There goes that man again. Devontae Bracey was all over.
Somebody got to block him.
Wreaking havoc. He was a problem. Fourth sack of the night. Let's take a look at that Football Friday night scoreboard. Louisville falling to Andrew Jackson 28-20, the first loss of the season for the Lions.
Yeah, that's the first loss for them, but it's okay. It's just one loss. Region play starts next week, and they are the favorites to win the region. They have the best non-conference record in that region, so Louisville will be back, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Louisville's going to win that region.
You heard?
Time to take our final break here on the show. When we come back, the play of the week and some surprising scores from around the area.
WBTV's First Alert Radar Network now has exclusive live X-band radar data. No one else in town has this kind of technology or this clear of a view. 10 times the resolution of the standard radars that are shooting into the Charlotte metro area. Our new radar is going to allow us to drill down into your neighborhood, your street, and give you as much advance notice as we can possibly give. I think this new radar fits right in with our First Alert promise, giving you advance notice of changing weather.
Where you get your local news matters.
The vote was unanimous.
Gaston, please telling me today.
Got a cold front on the way. Every night, WBTV News at 11 brings you the top stories of the day and what's ahead, helping you make sense of the headlines, giving you the insight and understanding you need to make the best decisions for your family. Our deep community connections and relationships with local leaders bring more to the stories that impact you. Join us for a better understanding. Watch WBTV News at 11.
She may not feel it yet, but she's got this. You've kept up with all the changes, the added safety measures. You've even read every email the school sent all summer long. Well, most of them. But you've also watched WBTV News this morning to stay on top of it all. And you got her here. And now, she sees it. Thanks for always being on her side and for trusting us to be on yours.
All right, time now for the play of the week, and it, of course, had to come from our game of the week, the touchdown that would steal the stunner. All right, Sean Boyle here, look at this, connecting with Mikey G, all with under a minute to shock Independence at home. Big-time play and the big-time moment for the Cougars. Watch this one more time. Cameron, you were out there. This is a spectacular play.
I mean, the thing is, the Cougars are known for running the ball, but this kid Boyle has an arm. Let's not forget about that. Throwing against his body, he can air it out when he needs to. And that's the thing is, they got the interception, but the game wasn't quite over yet. We thought Independence had a chance to make a stop, and then this was 2 plays into the drive. They just take the top off of it and absolutely stun the Patriots fans. I've never seen a stadium go that quiet so fast.
You're talking about a turnover momentum, and then you have this play. So obviously the offense was kind of, they were pumped.
They were dead in the water until that.
Y'all jumping the gun. We're going to get to that in a second. Hold on.
Okay.
I got some stuff.
Oh, I know Nate's got some words.
Let's do some surprising scores from tonight. Congratulations tonight, Parkwood. They go down to Indialand. They go across the state line, and they hand Indialand their first loss of the season, 24-20. Big road win for the Wolfpack. Indialand was the number 17 in 4A football in South Carolina. So in back-to-back weeks in the same region, Indialand, Northwestern, South Point, Rock Hill, they all lost. That leaves Catawba Ridge as the only undefeated team during non-region play. Now they head into region play next week. A big game next Friday night, Catawba Ridge at South Point, Rock Hill. That probably will be the game of the week next week, Cam, so you'll probably have another good game next week.
I'll mark it on my calendar.
Back in North Carolina, Porter Ridge gives Monroe their first loss of the season, 24-20. Porter Ridge is a 4A school and Monroe is a 2A school, so no real shame in that loss. It's a game that will make the Red Hawks even better heading into conference play next week when they take on Anson Senior. Now, we get back to that Independence Catholic game, and boy, what a finish in that one. After the game, DJ McFadden, the head coach of Independence, he took credit, or took blame. He said, my guys played hard. This loss is on me. There was some questionable things that happened down the stretch. They could have ran the ball, run out the clock, get the win, or they would have got the win. They threw the ball gets picked off. Catholic takes it back to the 40, the 46 or something like that, and then Catholic goes down. Throwing the ball, not running the ball, throwing the ball. When you got a Notre Dame committing Jack Larson, but as they proved on that, there's more than one weapon in that Catholic offense, air-wise. So Catholic is still there. They're still good, folks. Independence is back. I'll just go ahead and say second one tonight. The Big I's back. Coach McFadden has got those guys believing. They're playing great. They took Charlotte Catholic to the limit. Now, I'll say this about 4A football. It's pretty wide open this year, folks. I'm just going to tell you like that. Huff can be had. Chambers can be had. Weddington and Catholic will be able to play with them on a Friday night. Hickory Ridge can play with them on a Friday night. Independence can play with them on a Friday night. Mallard Creek can. The 4A bracket this year is going to be so outstanding. It is so wide open. All these teams really have a great shot at making it to the championship, and we're not. East Forsyth is the #1 team in the state, so it's 4A football is on fire this year. It really is. But kudos to the Big I, to Independence. Yes, tough loss. Coach made some stuff that he's going to go back and he's going. This is DJ's first chance to be in this position. This is his second year as the head coach there. Yeah. So you're in this position for the first time. Maybe next time you don't make those calls. Maybe you run the ball. It's a learning process for the team, learning process for the coach.
But what I saw there was he called such a great game until that point, or whoever's calling the plays for Independence. The offense was moving the ball almost at will. They were running the ball well, passing the ball well. Everything was great. And after that last touchdown you saw to Jalen Springs, the one that put them up 35-21.
The smile.
I caught DJ on the sidelines. He was feeling himself. They had the confidence. And I mean, if the play goes differently, we're applauding him for going for the
Absolutely.
knockout. If it goes differently, but it's one of those where they were running the ball so well on that drive, and they were getting first downs, and they had the Cougars on their heels, and just the decision, obviously, because the result didn't work out, we can question the decision, but it's a tough way to go down. And like we saw on Twitter, I mean, DJ's owning it.
Yes.
He's accepting that was his call to make. And he wants that call back. I know he does, but it's one of those things where even with the result, you gotta love the way they played tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think maybe it also sets up for the team saying, you know what, I trust y'all. It didn't work this time.
You live with,
trust y'all.
You live with your players. You die with your players. Yeah.
Hey, you live and you learn. I mean, but you know, sometimes a loss makes you better.
That's it.
So you know, it's not the end of the world. And I'm sure, I mean, like, if I was a player for Independence, it would hurt today. But we played with Catholic. We're right there. So if we had any kind of questions of whether we can play with these guys or not, if we can play with the better teams in 4A football, that's answered. So now we can just roll out there and play free and do what we do. So, you know, I don't think this is not a bad, you know, you want to win the conference, but this is a learning experience for them. They're going to grow from this, and that's why I say the Big I is back. So watch out for these guys. If they're going to finish probably, well, maybe they'll finish second in the conference. They'll get a good game. They'll get a good seed in the playoffs, and they're going to get rolling. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, what I saw tonight, that offense can score on just about anybody. They got a lot of playmakers. I love Little at quarterback.
He is a
playmaker.
He can spin it.
He is a playmaker.
Yeah.
Love him.
So yes, big kudos to Independent and a great win for Coach Brodowitz and the Charlotte Catholic Cougars. You know, they had the 1-point loss to Providence Day early in the year. They're still rolling. What was the final score again? Can you remember offhand? Right
tonight, yeah, 36-35.
Okay, so Catholic's defense is, you know, last week they stopped one of the best running attacks in the state in Providence. Held them down, shut them down last week. So I think they're still working through some defensive things, but you know, Catholic's going to be right there. I'm telling you that the 4A bracket this year is going to be unpredictable. It's going to be a team that you probably didn't expect to make it all the way to the state championship, and you know, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
No, so we're talking about coaches making bold decisions. We got to shout out Coach Brodowitz for going for 2 there, because it's every sports guy's worst nightmare when you're on deadline to see a game go to overtime, right? So when I saw that touchdown go through, I'm thinking they're kicking it. I'm thinking we're going to get overtime, and I don't know what time I'll be back at the station. I don't know if I'm missing deadlines. But then I see the lineup for 2, and you got to respect the gutsiness, again, to trust your players, ride with your guys.
If you don't get it, it's like,
well, because you had all the momentum, you sucked all the air out of that stadium. You don't want to go to overtime and give Independence a chance to catch their breath, recollect. And again, the way they were scoring the ball, you don't want to give them the ball back with a chance to win the game. And so you got to applaud the boldness there, Coach Brodowitz. You know, they got that opportunity kind of almost in their lap because they got that interception there that was, again, they should have just been running the ball, but they made the most out of the opportunity they were given. And again, for a team that's known for ground and pound, they marched down the field in 2 plays and got some big chunks in the passing game. And yeah, the guts to go for it on the 2-point conversion. You got to respect it.
Yeah, I blanked for a second when we was talking. Clearly they saw something.
Yeah.
On that play where you throw the ball. Because, you know, 9 times out of 10 the coach is going to run the ball and try and run out the clock. But they saw something. And they didn't connect on the play.
Yeah.
It happens. That's football. So like I said, this is a learning experience, and the Big I's going to be fine. And you know, we're talking a lot about 4A football, but tonight, I'm telling y'all, the 4A bracket, the East has some good teams as well. There are some good teams up in that Greensboro area, so some of the Charlotte teams are going to have to go to Greensboro in that playoff and play up there. You're going to play East for South. You're just going to have to. And one of those teams, like a Weddington or a Catholic or an Independence, is going to have to go up there. Yeah. And I guarantee one of them is going to go up there, and they're going to knock off one of those teams. It happens every year. It's going to happen again. So 4A football, I was kind of down on it. I was like, there was no dominant team. Yeah. I'm pretty fired up about it now. After seeing this game tonight, I'm pretty fired up about the 4A bracket and what it could be. We're not even talking about Butler. And Coach Hales, he texts me every Friday night with their scores from Butler. Butler's going to be there too, so I don't want to leave the Bulldogs out. So, Coach, don't try and use that on Monday. Like, look, football Friday, they ain't talking about us. They ain't respecting y'all. Coach, Butler's going to be there too. So, it's going to be very fun, the playoffs. But I don't want to, let's not rush through it. We're only in the second conference game. I'm not going to rush to the playoffs. I'm sorry. Let me slow down. Let me pump my brakes. We still got some conference titles to decide. So.
But it gets you excited. Oh, God. Yes. To what? A few weeks ahead.
3A is going to be outstanding as well. 2A, Monroe. I mean, you know, hopefully Shelby's starting to come around. They scored a bunch of points tonight. So in that 2A bracket, everybody ready to throw dirt on the defending state champs. Put your shovels down. You don't throw no dirt on Shelby yet. It ain't, no. Burns and all those guys, they're going to be good. I'm starting to get fired up. I'm already feeling like it's November. No. I'm retired from football. But y'all got anything else?
Football Friday night. Nothing like it.
Hey, third week of conference play starts next week. Join us here next week for week 7 of Football Friday night. Have a great weekend. Have a good college football Saturday. Enjoy the President's Cup and the Panthers. Please, can y'all get a win on Sunday? Please, it's the same.
I think they will. We'll see.
We'll see you next week.